I want to talk to you a second about being lucky. Being lucky is great, it is, but it's also very fleeting. You know what's better than waiting for good luck? Getting smarter. Being smart beats luck most every time. In this final segment, Kevin Frazer and I, we boil it all down. How to choose the right RV, how to choose the right RV dealer, and the right financing, and how to do it now. And yes, markets do shift. They always will. Interest rates move, but the playbook you should follow doesn't. Slow down. Verify claims. Get every single promise the dealer makes in writing and make the dealer show you that everything is working as it should before you sign. That's how you avoid RV purgatory and become what I call a happy camper. Now, for those of you who are discouraged about the RV dealer horror stories that we hear so much about, help is available. Good people are out there, and you can connect with them by accessing my free RV resources page. Just scan the QR code or click on the link in the description down below. Let's get started with my wrap-up with Kevin Frazer from Cheyenne Camping Center. I have a question, and it is about attitudes of customers. I'm seeing people are more edgy. I don't know what it is. I'm seeing some people are absolutely unreasonable, more so than in the past. Are you sensing that the consumer out there is, I don't know, they have heard enough horror stories? To me, some of them seem to be too entitled. Maybe their expectations are too high. I'm not sure if my rambling makes any sense, but there seems to be a change in the attitude of some RV buyers compared with pre-COVID.
Compared with 10 years, 40 years ago, no. This waxes and wanes, but and I have people on my staff that complain that people have become too nitpicky, is a common phrase here in Iowa, right? And I remind them that those are the people that keep us sharp. No, if they're completely unreasonable and half out of their minds, they're not going to want to do business with us anyway. But the ones that are paying attention, the skeptics, that's the customer we want. And you, if you're not particularly skeptical, want to shop at a place where skeptics go. How many times?
It's true.
How many times have you been advised, oh yeah, you got to get this from here. And you say, oh, he's really a bastard. I will do that.
Huh.
It's true.
It is true.
If you got somebody that is, and you know who they are, the Spiral Notebook Commandos, but if they say to you, I did all my research and these guys are the real deal, you believe them.
Yeah.
So that's okay. That's okay.
Well, that's why you have 70% or higher.
But there's a subset, and I don't think you're talking about the subset. The subset is the people that have been badly emotionally scarred by being ripped off by somebody else. And that's a different circumstance.
Maybe that's who I'm talking about, because
that's who you're exposed to on air. Those people have been badly mauled. It's almost like a wild animal clawed them. And they have a different attitude. And they have a different attitude because they want some payback. Now, I have sympathy for them, knowing that it's really professional grifters that took them. But they allowed themselves to be taken sometimes.
Right. Yeah. And it's hard to say, you know, I see people that are maybe not doubly upside down, or, you know, where their value is, their loan is twice what the thing is worth, but sometimes pretty dang close. And they want to accept no responsibility for putting themselves.
No, they just want to be out of it.
Right. Just how do I fix it? You're the wingman. Go ahead and can you tell me how to fix it?
Yeah. Without a time machine, you got to just. How many things have I done that have been really stupid? Okay. My philosophy on decisions is make them as fast as you can so you got more time to correct your mistakes.
You think so?
When it comes to deciding on who to do business with, you really have to trust your sixth sense. And then don't pay for it if it's something like an RV or a suit of clothes until it's been demonstrated to be what it was represented. Try it on. One sleeve shorter than the other one, you don't pay for it.
You know, I make a lot of phone calls to your customers. You know that.
and one of the things that stands out about Cheyenne, I'm just saying that people say, well, say $5,000 or sometimes $10,000. We saved all this money, and I'll ask them that is that the only reason that you went to Cheyenne? And that may be the reason in the beginning, but after they leave, they say it was the best walkthrough, the most thorough walkthrough. They showed me everything. They took their time. They made sure that I understood. And I think that's so critically important because many of these dealers, especially the big chains, it's like as soon as the deal's done, have a nice life. Get out of here.
Forest River doesn't get sued by Cheyenne Camping Center customers. Forest River doesn't worry about Cheyenne customers because they're taken care of. We do a double prep on everything we sell.
And I know you do. Explain that so people that are watching.
Okay, there's a preliminary prep where one of our aces, a guy that's been around for a long, long time, the RV arrives from Forest River. He does the memorandum where he marks every single thing that could be wrong with it, or is wrong with it, or is missing. And that becomes...
Upon arrival.
Upon arrival, the same day. And then Real Prep gets a hold of it with that heads up, these things are possible, and they do the deep dive. And by the time it's done, customer comes and works everything. They try out everything. It's not going to be some of the stuff that gets out. But you're the one that does these exposés about how things, they're leaving lots dangerous, really dangerous.
I know.
And
the lawyers will go after the manufacturer, generally speaking.
Pockets.
But it's the deeper pockets.
Except there's the other trend. That same phalanx of ferocious lawyers that works for Camping World also scares the willies out of the manufacturer. Scares the willies out of the lawyers that represent those who've been aggrieved. No, the manufacturer's easy to go after. That's why. Plus, the chains are throwing... I see them throw Forest River under the bus all the time. I assume it happens with all of them.
I just can't... I don't know the workings, what goes on at the tippy top conversations of these manufacturers, but there's got to be a part of them that says these.
Oh, they're disgusted.
These dirty bastards.
They're disgusted. But it also is really screwing up the bottom line and the price of RVs.
And it's screwing up the future of the RV industry.
Absolutely.
The future sales when somebody gets their eyes gouged out, they're never going to buy another RV again. And then when they find that somebody at work is, we're going to buy an RV, don't do it.
Don't do it, you'll regret it.
Don't do it. It is bad for the future of the industry. It's bad.
But the big chains are only about to hit one.
Right now.
One and you're done. Who was the guy from Camping World who recently told me, oh, he used to be the general manager of the Camping World in Chicago.
Oh.
Yeah. They closed that store. It wasn't open very long. I don't know why they closed it. He wouldn't tell me either. But he said to me that we've been told over and over again that our business philosophy is one and done. So you got to get everything you can right up front. They're not making no bones about it. They're telling their managers it's one and done. If you don't care about any future business, you're burning down the orchard anyway. You don't care. You're harvesting the trees for firewood. You don't care. And so if they burn the manufacturers along the way, that's just part of the business model.
Okay, along those lines, I just talked to a Camping World guy. Hopefully I'm going to have him on, an ex-Camping World salesperson who sold a $37,000, I can't remember what it was, $37,000 brand new travel trailer. Turned him over to finance. When the guy left, he talked to the finance guy, said, how did the closing go? He said, it went great. We added $17,000 to the price of a $37,000 RV.
That's not even the most egregious example.
Adding $17,000 to a $37,000 camper that the moment it drives off the lot, it's worth $30,000, maybe.
How many ads have you seen for Camping World on Fox News?
Endless.
Travel trailers from $76 a month.
Yeah, $100 a month forever.
The salesman does not get a paycheck for selling one of those unless the payment at the end exceeds $250. Let me repeat that. No payday for you, Mr. Salesman, unless the $76 becomes $251.
And that happens in the F&I office, in the
Oh,
box,
yeah.
as they say, right? And so they're all kind of part of the deal. And this guy says that he finally had enough. In fact, he contacted me 6 months ago and said he was, embarrassed to work and to see some of the things he saw.
Well, it's got to be corroding your soul. If you're working in a place, I've talked to some of these people.
Really? They come.
Oh,
Tell me, come on, Daddy, tell me.
okay, I had a spate of former Camping World and sales people who came and applied for positions here. I get them from everywhere. You know how cloistered this place is. You gotta make your bones to be able to stay here. Everybody, the shortest term salesman I got's been here 5 years, okay? Most of them have been here 20. Anyway, when I had this wave of the salespeople, some very strange things were going on. One of the prospective employees brought his wife with him. I found that very weird. But they were all telling me how horrible Camping World was. This was a group of 3 over the span of about a month. And each one of them thought that they would enhance their chances of employment here at Cheyenne by telling me detailed stories.
Have they participated in the scam?
No, how they embezzled from Camping World.
Really?
They thought that would ingratiate them with me. They thought I would be more likely to hire them because they damaged Camping World through embezzlement. They thought they were proud of it. Now, how far do you got to go down the corroded soul to get to that point? Now,
Wow.
how many of the 3 you think got hired?
About 0.
Yeah, about 0.
Oh my God.
Yeah, that's what a place like that does to a person. It makes them think cockeyed, crazy.
There's so many people, everybody's got an attitude and opinion and all that kind of stuff, but there are people that will watch this and say, it's only about selling. Well, that's how you make a living, is you sell campers, you sell trailers. But it's more than that. It's you don't stay in business since the 60s.
No. Since for 5,000 years, there has to be a salesman and a foreman or nothing goes. There has to be a salesman and a foreman or nothing gets done.
But, you've been around for so long. Of course you want to sell. Of course you do. But you're just trying to help other people.
And stay in business, please.
Yeah. Like to sell a camper every now and then.
Yeah.
So it's more than price, it's value. And to me, if you're only paying attention to price, don't do that. First off,
It won't be that price.
It won't be that price.
No,
Whatever the
here
price,
it is.
Yeah, it is
Here
here.
it is.
But this is like one of the only places that Kevin,
They're
I talk to
increasingly infrequent.
people. I know that. I ask people about the price. And I say, well, did it change when you got to Iowa? Is it the same? Oh, it's the same as they did. Say everything was the same. How much of a deposit did you have to put down? Well, they didn't make us put down a deposit. We just went and, it was like the old days. People, you shake their hand and...
Well, nowadays it's an electronic handshake.
Yeah. Well,
But yes, we're going to be here. We're going to do it. And if we don't prove out, fire us. This happens all the time. On Saturday, one of the guys, Todd, had someone call in. Said, the guy in Indiana's got you beat by $9,000. What are you going to do about it?
wow.
And Todd says, well, we don't do business that way. We set our prices at a level that maybe gets us into the black ink by December, but we're not going to mess with you. This is the price. We're not going to lie to you. This is the price. He got a call today from the wife, not the husband, the wife saying.
Of the same people, the night?
Yeah. So you were right. That wasn't a real deal. And they started the paperwork.
So this kind of takes me back to where we started. Where are we going and how do we get out of this?
Oh, that's coming unraveled as we speak. If you're asking me how do we get rid of the bad actors, that's just education. That's you on the internet. Unless the attorneys generals of the various states, and we didn't even talk about the fact that we got the federals are supposed to be doing this, unless they wake up and join a class action suit, a dozen AGs led by Oregon or something go after one chain and clean that one up by sanction and terrible legal process, well, that's going to change. But it would really only take one. If one is sanctioned severely, the others will clean up. After the truth came out in 2018, and we revealed all of the unlawful crap that was going on, with particular emphasis on paying one price if you paid for it by taking out a loan with Camping World, but paying a higher price if you insisted on paying it for it with a check with cash.
Right.
That is clearly unlawful under every state and every federal law. We released that video in January of 18. During show season of 2018, all the signs at every show in the country that said, it's this price with cash, it's this price if you finance with us, they all came down, they all disappeared. For that whole show season, they weren't enforcing, or at least not telling anybody about it. But no AG did anything about it. Nobody at the federal level did anything about it.
So you say it's unraveling. So
And
how,
then a year later, all those signs are back, but they're not just at Camping World.
oh, there, yes.
Now they're everywhere. It's a different price.
But it's still illegal.
Absolutely, and has been for a long time.
So how does it unravel? How do we come out of it?
If, that's what I'm saying.
Oh, we need-
if an AG or a group of AGs get together and sanction, punish, drag one of them through the kind of hell that they've drug all their customers through, the other chains will get the message that they could be next. That's it. Barring that, you got brave Doug Gettard at Forest River working hard to get franchise agreements. If Forest River gets a franchise agreement that's enforceable, both sides, friendly to the dealer and the manufacturer, at least an arbitration, then you can say, well, geez, maybe I should buy only a Forest River, and that will bring everybody else on board.
No, yeah.
Yeah. And then Pete Legal's dream of taking it from a 1-year warranty to a 2-year and then a 3-year will be affordable, because all the money that would pay for that longer warranty is now going to lawyers and actions. That's where it's all going. When I hear the numbers about how much lawyer fees or how much of a price of an RV is lawyers because of the bad actors, I refuse to believe it because it's too depressing.
I don't ever see anything from RVIA, press releases.
Oh,
or
they're
anything.
useless. Yeah. Like so many quasi-government institutions, nonprofit organizations, they're a ship that sails for the benefit of the crew. They raise money and pay themselves salaries. Do they do anything? That tiny
They
little,
spend money.
the tiny little change in the tax code so that we RV dealers could deduct the interest that we paid on our floor plans for travel trailers and fifth wheels, which accidentally slipped into the tax bill of 17. And I've read the code. It could be interpreted either way. No, you can't deduct that. RVIA told us dealers, whoa, yeah, that's foul. We'll fix that within a month. It was fixed in the great big beautiful bill this summer.
In 2025.
Yeah.
Only took 8 years.
8 years to, right away.
Right.
That's how valuable the RVIA, RVDA is.
But me as a consumer, I'm paying extra money.
To get that goofy little symbol.
Yeah, isn't that
And
nice?
now that goofy little symbol represents a code. And maybe the manufacturers would go off that code and start making completely irresponsible crap. But they'd get sued, so I don't think so. So maybe that's not necessary. But that is a source of revenue. Every time you get one of those little ovals, you got to pay through the nose for it.
Okay, last question. Cheyenne Camping Center was the first one in when things went to crap. Mm-hmm. But it appears that things are getting a little bit better.
Yeah, all my guys are on board with that. We had a couple of false starts, especially last year. Mm-hmm. But it feels, I know that's nebulous, but it feels like it's coming back. When do I think we're going to be running on all cylinders? The middle class has got to be worth more money. We were just talking about the big, beautiful bill that passed earlier this year. That's going to put, on average, about $3,700 in tax relief in every family's pocket. Oh, it happens to be an RV payment, doesn't it? Now, interest rates might come down. I think they will. And things are going to get better just because there's a lot of people that have been putting this off for a long time because they couldn't afford to do anything.
There's a lot of people that want to buy an RV. If they can find the right RV, if they can afford it, if they find a good dealer.
Yeah, there's a lot of people who want to buy a house and a car too, all for the same reasons. Interest rates down, income's up. I think in 26, did I timestamp something wrong?
No. I mean,
I think that's
26 is a good target.
It could be an interesting year.
So, that's the blueprint, the overview of how the mess in the RV industry can get cleaned up. If you missed any of the 4 segments that I did with Kevin, you have missed a conversation with one of the smartest human beings I've ever known. I hope that you'll mark your calendar for this Sunday when I'm posting the entire conversation, all of it. And yes, it is very long, but it's oh so good. It's going to drop very soon. I'll also have it on a playlist on my YouTube channel. If you found Kevin to be as honest and helpful as I do, I hope you'll share this video with a friend who is RV shopping. Finally, let me hear from you. I'd love to know what you thought of this series. Thanks much for watching, everybody. I'm Alan Warren, the RV Wingman, reminding you, be safe, have fun, play nice, and don't leave your good manners at home.